the church, I mean, the whole concept of it, these websites and things you see in video, and and the whole fellowship and socialization, it does sound very nice. Everyone wants that. Everyone wants, that socialization, that interaction. So that's why they go to these things. It's for that interaction. They want to be part of something. They're willing enough to give up their, critical thinking, intellect, to be part of a club, to have some kind of belonging, even though this club is nonsensical. It is nonsensical. And a lot of these churches, cults, demonitions, what do we want to call them? They're all corrupt some way or another. They may look good on the outside, but when they're in, you notice things behind the scenes. You notice things in the congregation. You notice things when people are talking in the washroom. You notice things in the, and I don't know what you call those people, in the office. You notice these things. You hear things. You hear a peep, and that peep eventually becomes a big, loud voice, becomes a big shout. Because all these churches, they're just corrupt. They're corrupted some way or another. And even if they're not, all it is a false hope. It's a business. It is a business. These pastors or whatever, some of them I think have other jobs or whatever or whatnot. Some do, some don't. But it's a business. It's like a doctor or the hospitals need you to be sick. The churches need you to be dumb. They need you to be sick. They need you to be depressed, mentally ill. They need you to want some kind of socialization. Because without any of those, or one of those, the whole church is pointless. They need you to be suffering. That's why the whole church is so focused on death and sin and doing wrong, and all the negativity. It always focuses on that in order to get people into the church. Because again, it's a business. It's a business. Then they have tithes and offering. Then they have other clubs, other social events. They're asking money for that. Then repairs are asking money for that. And they got preachers offering. Then you got choirs offering. New gown offering. Fundraisers. Snacks you got to pay for. At what end? See, we got to wake up, people. The church is not a place where it's going to be, easy cruising or whatever you want to call it. This easy kick back and, you're going to make it to heaven. It's not like that, because heaven doesn't exist. But the whole concept of church and Christianity is it's corrupted. It's brainwashing. It's negative. So a lot of negative. Sure, we can put out the positive like I just did. It's good to be part of a little group, to socialize, meet people, to have something to do during the week or the weekend. That is great. But the whole concept of Christianity in the church is founded upon money. It is founded upon it's founded upon you being depressed, you being hurt, you being sick, and that's and that's what they need. That's what they require of you. Do you really think these people would be joining these things if there was no money involved? It's a business. I think some pastors, some churches, I think like 3/4 of them now today knows that it's BS. They all know that it is completely BS. But they go along with it because they make the money. And it's not about money, it's about power, being controlled, being that leader, attention. To have something to do during the week. To be in charge. They want that. You really think these old so-called stories of the Bible are relevant today? It's not. Humanity is changing. It's always evolving. Whether it's natural or by design, or humanity is always changing. Something new. They're always doing something. These old stories is not relevant. They did not. The so-called characters didn't go through what we went through. So it's not the same. It's not really fair. Hypothetically, even though I know they're not real, it's not fair. It's not a good comparison to compare those people who never had the internet, social media, never had none of that stuff. Didn't have the socialization. Didn't have the celebrities and the music that we have. It wasn't there. I'm not saying all of civilization was perfect and great and sweet. But a lot of it was pretty okay, I would say. But they didn't have all this. But that's sorry, I kind of, let's just focus on the biblical days. They didn't have what we have. And if this word was so real, you'd think the so-called God, God of whatever, of the Bible would change things up a little bit. You think you would have new prophets, new stories about prophets? You think that would happen? But no. Hasn't happened. Has not happened. Yeah, I don't know, I'm just rambling and just trying to waste some time, so I just end up talking about things, but hopefully it makes sense though. Hopefully it makes sense. I know Christianity in the church is nonsense. I do know that it's all about money, power, control. It'll also be about other things as well. It may not just only be about money. So for some churches, I don't think it's about money. It's about that control, that power. I believe that maybe for today, maybe quarter of like pastors or any of those elders, whatever, in those churches, whatever you're going to call them, I think a lot of them know the Bible's bullshit. But they're just playing along because, again, the money, the power, the status that comes along with it. But anyways, for Asgard.